I was asked a question once by one of my main business mentors. His name is Wayne Cotton, who helped me start Fitness Quest 10. He's still a huge part of my life today. He's not in the fitness business. He was a client. And he's a Canadian man who's just become very, very close. And he asked me a question many, many moons ago. He said, Todd, is life a marathon or a sprint? And I'd ask you the same question to think, what is it? Is it a marathon or a sprint? I said, it's a marathon. He who gets to the finish line first wins. To this day, I can hear his voice saying, Todd, if you keep running a marathon at a sprinter's pace, you're gonna die just like your father. And I was like, wow. What he was saying is, life is not a marathon. Life is a series of sprints. Sprint, rest, sprint, rest. When I was writing my first book, it was a 10-week sprint. And then I had to get rest after it. There are some days that are 16-hour days, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. As long as you have the counterbalance on the other side, whether the next day or the next week is you're having the downtime as well. The problem comes in is when we're working 16-hour days, day after day after day, and you face plant into the couch, you're absolutely dilapidated of energy, you're burnt out, you lose the passion for this industry, and all of a sudden you're like, I don't like this. Yeah. It's because your energies are burned. There are times if you have like a project that you're really hot on and you got a writing project, you got something that you're trying to create, you're gonna have to sprint, and it's not always just for a day or for a week. Sometimes it's a series of weeks, but you have to build in sprint, rest, sprint, rest. It's just like that you or I would train a high-level athlete. You gotta sprint them and you gotta recover them twice as hard. Yeah. So you gotta make sure they get the high-intensity interval training in, and then they need body work, they need soft tissue work, they need to get into the infrared sauna, they need to get some acupuncture. All of these things, it's no different. It's the mindset of, there are days I gotta suck it up and I'm gonna have a 16-hour day and I'm gonna be so focused on this project, and that's okay. But I'm gonna communicate to my wife and kids, hey listen, I might not be the best dad for the next week, but here, when dad does this, here's the end result of what it's gonna do for the universe, and I promise you when I'm done with this project, here's what we're gonna do. It's a carrot at the end for me and for them. I think it's a part of just success and achievement, is there's times when you gotta sprint, but you gotta make sure that you rest as well. Yeah. You just can't sprint at a marathon, and do a marathon all the time.
In your business, to talk about what you have now, and we categorize it as fitness training, and I guess everybody has a perception about it. But listening to you and reading, reading parts of your books and your blogs, it comes across, if you listen to your materials, that that's quite a small part of what you talk about. How would you explain that? Although there's fitness equipment and people are moving out, what's the difference between the sort of mind and the heart side compared to the actual bit when you're lifting stuff and you're running? How would you describe that?
I do think it's all related. I'm a huge believer, and it goes way beyond sets and reps. It goes way beyond squats, bench press, push-ups, and pull-ups. I think that physical conditioning drives success. I'm a huge believer that if you are training hard and you're eating right, you will live inspired. I believe that you have to nurture the head, the heart, and the hunger, okay? The hara, the inside, the gut. And when those three H's are really being nurtured at a high level, then I think that you could succeed. So although people may come into Fitness Quest 10 and say, I want to lose 15 or 20 pounds of fat or weight, can you help me do that? Of course we can. But to me, there's typically another reason why someone wants to come in. Maybe they don't feel the way they should. Maybe their knees hurt, their back hurts. Possibly their mind's not right, and they're struggling with some depression, or they're highly stressed, and the weight is an end product. For me, what I always say is, we change lives. We change lives. That's our slogan here at Fitness Quest 10, is we change lives, and we're the best part of your day every day. And for me, that's what 38 of us do, is we change lives. How do you do that? Sometimes it's going inside someone's head and making sure their mind is right. Sometimes it's making sure they get the most crushing workout ever. Sometimes it's more of a yin workout. We got to yin work, and we've got to focus on more of the meditation, flexibility, yoga, bodywork type of stuff. So it's part scientist, it's part artist. Right. I believe the best coaches are part scientists, part artists. You could be the smartest guy in the world, and I used to hire people based on their credentials. And that was a major mistake, because if they can't relate to a human being, they're not gonna be a great trainer. I've also met a lot of people that are great with people, but they don't study the science, they don't study all of that you have to learn about the intricacies of the most amazing machine ever created, the human body. If you can create the art and the science and put that into one and realize it's your art, it's your creation, every time we work with a person or a small group or a large group and we can create magic in that, then you're making the world a better place. And that's what we do in the fitness industry. And to me, that's what we do and why we do it. So
to be successful in this is
Yes.
you've got to study, you've got to get both of those together.
100%. And as far as like, I always say, hey, I could train someone in a parking lot and get them great. When we have these tools all around us, I think tools just help us, right? We always want to, people in today's day have ADD. They want to be challenged in different ways. And I think a lot of times, I know my pro athletes are often like, they don't want to do the same thing every day. Of course not, neither do I. So there's a lot of ways to skin a cat, and I think when it comes to the science and the art, you want to be able to challenge movement, look at the way the body moves, and how can I get this person better? Whether it be a house mom, an executive, a pro athlete, a young kid with self-esteem and confidence issues, how can I help that young man or boy or girl be better? How can I help that woman achieve the dress size that she wants to get back into? How can I help that senior who's 87 years old, who still comes in and does boxing and pushes prowess? How can I help the pastor who comes here because when he's at the pulpit, he wants to come across with strong, vibrant energy? To me, that's what fires me up.